Even professional traders have losing streaks, and the problem with losing streaks is the more you lose, the worse your mindset gets, and then you start making trades that you shouldn't be taking, and you're trying too hard now because you really want to gain back what you've lost, and now you're just losing even more. What are you going to do? First of all, guys, I just want to talk about the direction of this channel, and I'm going to be changing up a little bit slightly. And before you get worried, I'm going to quickly say that don't worry, I'm still going to teach you all of this freaking amazing stuff that you're going to become profitable just like me very soon. But the reason I want to change things around is because I believe that this is a journey for all of us to improve, and I have mentioned before that I am relatively new into profitability. So there are things I am trying to learn. And I'm going to talk about something that I made a mistake this week. Basically, the end of the week, I'm going to post a video, and it's just going to be things I learned, and it's going to be things that I took on the trades that week. Now, this brings us to a new series. The series is going to be called $1,000 account flip, something like this, and that's going to start next week. And what the goal of this is going to be is that I'm going to teach you guys exactly how I flipped, a small account like $1,000 into a huge account. And so you're going to be able to follow along the way, and each week we're going to show you the trades, some of the trades I took, and some of the things I learned. And then we can go along the journey that way. So the next thing I want to mention is I'm going to be streaming on Fridays now. The streams are going to be starting a little bit earlier, right around 5:30 a.m., maybe 5 a.m., and I'm going to just be going over the trades of that day, and that's where you're going to learn most of the stuff. That's where I'm going to be teaching you the major profitability, and that's where I'm going to teach you exactly how I trade. If you want to learn the real deep TA stuff, you're going to have to be subscribed, you're going to have to hit the bell notification, and you're going to have to watch those streams, because those streams are actually hidden from my channel now, so you'll have to watch them live or get the link in the Discord. And remember, the Tuesday video is just going to be some sort of generic trading advice type thing, maybe a little bit of strategies, things like this. It's just going to be any sort of lesson I can think of. Alright then, how can we get over a losing streak? A losing streak can happen for a number of reasons. The first one could just be luck of the draw, right? Any strategy is going to have drawdown, and you can easily go 5 trades in a row. That's 5% drawdown if you're risking 1%. That's what I personally do. But once you're getting to these, 10 losses in a row, or you're just getting losing streaks with little bits of winners here and there, that's when you need to pay attention to there might be some sort of deeper problem. And that was the case for me this week. Now, if I had just looked at my strategy and I had only maybe a few losers, something like this, a couple winners, and it was just a little bit more losses, I can contribute that basically to luck of the draw. Simply because my personal strategy, everyone's a little bit different, but I think it's roughly about most traders are right around where I am. If done properly, I only have about 55% win rate. Right? So I make money about 55% of the time, I lose 45% of the time, and that's only if I'm doing it properly. If I'm messing up, then, it's getting worse, right? But, so you can attribute very easily, you can get a few losses in a row. The problem here was I'm down probably about 10%. Full transparency, I'm going to tell you guys right out. And I only have probably 20 to 30% win rate the past few days. And it hasn't been that long, right? It's only been since probably Thursday, so it's been maybe 4 or 5 trading days. And the winners are just really not blowing it out of the water. So I probably lost about 10% because I'm risking 1% per trade, and I'm winning a couple. But there really needs to be an underlying problem here, right? Because that's not luck of the draw anymore. So the first thing I need to make very clear to you guys that the importance of risking so little. Like I said, I'm only risking 1%, and you should only be risking 1 or 2% yourself too, right? If your account gets bigger, you risk even less. And this basically comes down to you're going to come across the same situation. You're going to do something wrong repetitively, thinking that you're doing something right. And that is going to get you into a deep drawdown, right? And I've realized it rather quickly, maybe after only about a few days, what I was doing wrong, and now I'm able to improve it. But I have about 10% drawdown. If I was risking 3% per trade, then I'd be down 30%. And that's absolutely ridiculous in my mind. I wouldn't be able to mentally handle that. 10% is enough for me. Second thing you need to do, guys, is you need to define a daily limit. And for me, this is what helped me not lose as much. So I define a daily limit as 3% loss. So if I did happen to make a little bit more loss on one trade, or I cut trades off early, then I allow 3%, but that's going to be an average of 3 losses in a day. Usually I'm not even trading 3 trades, but if I do trade at least 3 trades, 3 or 4 trades in a day, and 3 of them are a loser, I will stop everything. Once I'm at that 3% drawdown, I will close every single trade and walk away, go to bed, wake up for the next London session, and do it all over again. And this was kind of what was happening. I was seeing that 2% drawdown, and I would just stop. Because once you start losing, you get into a terrible mindset, and you can't think anymore, and you're trading emotionally, and you're revenge trading, and you can't think clearly anymore. The other thing could just be that the market's not doing what you want today. Some days markets range, some days markets trend. It really depends, mostly on the news, really. Pre-NFP, which is this week, there's a lot of ranging market, a lot of chop, and it's actually been causing me some problem because I'm more of a trend trader in a sense. So you could just stop for the day. And then the next day, the market's going to do what you want, and then you're going to be profitable again. So that's another reason you just stop for the day. The final thing is you're going to have to determine what the root of the problem is. And I've talked a lot about logging your trades, logging your emotions, things like this. And that's where this is going to help. Is once you get into this spiral, you can look back and you can say, okay, what was my emotional state at that time? What were the trades I was taking? You can look at the trades more objectively, if you have a picture of them even, and then you can say, that doesn't actually follow my rules. I thought that did, but it didn't. So major problems when it comes to trading poorly is going to be things where you're not focused, you have brain fog, or you're impatient because the market's not doing what you want. And the case for me here was basically that the market was going flat. It was just chopping. And I kept thinking I saw my strategy, when in reality, it wasn't obvious. It wasn't obvious, and other traders weren't picking up on it too, right? So if it's something that I just think I see, and then I'm kind of putting things together because I'm watching the market way too much, it doesn't look exactly perfect, then I'm going to be forcing these trades. And what you need to understand is you don't have to trade every single day. Hell, you don't even have to trade every single week. But as my own personal problem, that was something that I was doing. I was looking for basically the best trade, the one that brought me, that looked closest to my strategy. And now after this week, I realize that that's not the best way to go. The best way to go is to be brutal with it and only accept the absolute perfection, right? So guys, that basically wraps it up. It's kind of a quick video there for you guys, just tell you the change in the channel here. So make sure you tune in for the next week, because next week I'm actually going to start that challenge. It's going to be really cool. You guys are going to be able to follow along, and I'm hopefully going to be able to tell you exactly what you guys can do so that you can flip an account too. And then we'll go on a journey together, because I think this is really going to be a road for all of us involved. And, you know, join the Discord, and then we can chat. We can kind of create a community where we're helping each other out, right? Because even though I'm making money, I'm still trying to improve, and you guys are still going to be trying to improve after you get to the point that I'm at now. So there's always room to grow until you're doing this for 20 years, and it's second nature. But I don't think anyone watching this channel has been doing it for 20 years, because why are you trying to learn from me? You have way more knowledge. Go on, leave.
Listen.